And anyways, so that's the first book. So when I finished that book, and I was in my graduate program, I was fed up with everything I was reading. It was so depressing. And I thought, why did I choose this graduate program? This is so depressing. And when I was taking my poetry class with my favorite teacher, who was poet laureate here in San Antonio, his name is Octavio Quintanilla, I asked him, where are the happy poets? And he said, there's none. And I said, what? I will find them. So I started doing my research on happiness and poetry, happiness and literature, happiness and storytelling, and I did not find much. And then when the pandemic began, I was really fully committed to creating this thing because everybody was so down and the world was closed and we were so pessimistic about the future. And so I thought, I want to do something that's useful. So I created the Joy Workshop. And I started teaching the Joy Workshop on Zoom at the beginning to whomever would let me teach them. And then little by little got better. But what I found out in this happiness research is that most happiness books are written by psychologists. And what they write about really is their patients. They don't even write about themselves. They write about their patients and the case of Mary Smith, blah, 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 and so on. And then there's neuroscientists. Neuroscientists write about dopamine and serotonin, but they write about brains. That's what they really do. And finally, there's spiritual leaders. Spiritual leaders don't write books. Spiritual leaders just speak, and someone transcribes what they say. So if you see a book with the Dalai Lama on the cover, he didn't write it. Someone wrote it for him. Someone wrote what he said. He doesn't sit down and write books. He's a monk. He's like a spiritual leader, so he just does things live, but he doesn't sit down and write books. So anyways, I started researching the subject, and now I am going to talk about joy because I really feel that because you're in college, you need this. And because you just came out of the pandemic. So we had a lot of adjustments during the pandemic. Our social skills were off. I remember going to my first party, and I remember thinking, what do we talk about? Nothing happened. So we would just talk about things from the past or things from the future, but there was not a lot to talk about like last week. And little by little, we're building up, and that's good. The other thing that happened in the pandemic, which is very interesting, is that we have circles. Think of an onion. Well, during the pandemic, the outer circles were just sacrificed, and we just got closer to the people that were closer to us. But those people that we would see once a month or once every 2 months, they were gone. So little by little, we're recreating that. We're rebuilding our networks. And we're rebuilding our social skills because we lost them for a bit there. And especially introverts. Introverts were thrilled during the pandemic. They're like, oh, can we keep this going? This is fabulous. But extroverts were like, I am going to die here. I need to talk to people. I'm going to go outside and just walk the dog and see people and smile at them without a mask because I can walk without a mask. Or go to the supermarket and see if people are smiling behind their masks. Anyways, we survived and the world is open now. But it was the big pause. And millions of people, we had time to think. And that's good. But it's important. I'm not saying there's going to be another pandemic, but what if there is? So while things are not the way I want them to be, I need to think about what I need to do so that when things are or are not the way I want them to be, I can still find joy. So now I'm going to talk about joy, very specific. There are 3 levels of well-being. If you don't remember anything I'm going to say, just remember this, okay? Okay, so pay attention. There are 3 levels of well-being. The first one is physical, and it's pleasure. And some people confuse that with happiness. It's not. So, to sleep, to eat, to get a massage, to have sex, to jog, to wrestle, any physical activity that you enjoy, that is pleasure, physical pleasure. But pleasure and pain go together. So that which brings you pleasure can also bring you pain. So if I have 1 hamburger, I'm happy. But if I have 3, I'm in pain. Maybe there's people who can eat 3. I cannot possibly, under any circumstances, have 3 hamburgers. So anyway, so pleasure and pain go together. And there's something that we need to know, which is hedonic adaptation. Hedonic adaptation means that whatever pleasure is involved, you become saturated very quickly. So If you smell something, it smells really good, very quickly the smell will go. You cannot smell it anymore. That's what the body does. It's like, okay, we're done with that. And also, I will give you an example. Let's say that I told you, and there is a surprise under your chair. Everybody gets a massage. And then I would say, but it has to be 5 hours. Then you're like, I don't want a 5-hour massage. Why? Because it's not pleasurable anymore. There's a point where something stops being pleasurable. So that's the thing with the body, the physical body. Okay. The next level is happiness. Happiness and unhappiness also go together. Okay? So that which brings you happiness, once it's taken away from you, it will make you unhappy. And I don't know what your values are or your goals are, but I'm just going to give stereotypes, which is I'm rich, I'm happy, I'm poor, I'm sad. I'm in love, I'm happy, I'm alone, I'm sad. If you want to lose weight, I'm skinny, I'm happy, I'm fat, I'm sad. Or maybe you want to gain weight, so I'm skinny, I'm sad, and I gain weight, I'm happy. So whatever you want to accomplish, when you have what you want, you're happy. When you don't have what you want, you're unhappy. And that's where joy comes in. Joy is above. Oh, happiness and unhappiness, they're psychological. Why are they psychological? Because what brings me happiness doesn't necessarily bring you happiness. So there are people that want to gain weight and there are people that want to lose weight. If I were an anorexic, I would be thrilled if I had 3 meals today. But if I want to lose weight, I would be frustrated if I had 3 meals today because I'm trying to lose weight, etc. So above this is joy. And joy is spiritual. So nobody can give it to you. Nobody can give you joy. You have to build it. You have to create it. And so meditation is a tool. Or if you have a denomination, then use your denomination. Prayer is another tool. But just being still and breathing and being calm will help you find your joy in the present moment. Another little trick that I have to explain to you is that joy can only be found in the present moment. Joy cannot be found in the future, and it cannot be found in the past. Welcome, welcome. You got in at the perfect time. We're getting to the best part. So anyways, so what you do with joy is in your mind. So whatever is happening around me, I can still stay calm. So joy looks more like peace, okay? So I'm going to show you. And I didn't want to do that. I'm going to do this because I don't like the PowerPoint. This is a smiley face, right? What is wrong with this? It's what? It's a stick figure. Does it look human? Does it look really happy? Why do you think that is? The eyes, right? Okay. So now I'm going to show you. And you know this one. Do you know what this is called? Joy. It's called tears of joy. I don't agree. I think they should be called LOL. We don't do this when we're joyful. Okay. You do? Great. This is what joy looks like. Do you know why? I'm going to tell you why. Charles Darwin studied gestures and faces, besides the theory of evolution. So he discovered that in our face, the one part of our face that will tell you if we're really smiling is right here, this part. So I'm going to do the smiley face, my photograph face, like, take a photo, take it now. Are you done? Okay, come on. That's not real smile, because my eyes are not smiling. I just want the photograph to be taken and I want to leave, right? But this is joy. Now I'm going to do my happy face, which you don't know if I'm really happy. Maybe I'm just like, oh, this is so great. Okay, are we leaving? So we can do the super happy, like, but joy is not like that. Joy is like this. Joy is coming from within. And so when you can really see joy, it's going to be in your eyes. That's where the joy will show. And no one can fool you. When people are doing that, you don't know. It could be real, or they could be faking it, okay? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about joy and my book, but I want to talk about the U of happiness, because I think it's important. So there's the you of happiness, and in life, the beginning of life, most people are pretty happy. And at the end of life, most people are really happy. Why do you think that is? Why is the middle so challenging?
They're enjoying where they are.
Young people are enjoying where they are, and older people are enjoying where they are.
Yes.
And middle-aged people are not. Well, maybe. That is a good guess, but let me tell you what really can be happening. Sorry, but this is my theory, and this is what I've been reading, and it's not just my theory. Young people, I did it, so yeah, I know what I'm talking about. You can dream your life. You can dream your profession. You can dream your success. You can say you're going to be an astronaut, and you can say you're going to work at the United Nations, and you can say you're going to be at the NBA, or you can say anything. And that will keep you really happy and motivated, which is wonderful. And so you can imagine your wife or your husband, you can imagine your house, and you can imagine your kids, and everything's going to be fabulous. When you're in the middle, it is what it is. And there's nowhere to fantasize, because it's happening right now. So your kids are real. And maybe they're in bad mood and they're screaming at you or something. I don't know. I have one of those, two of those. Well, anyways. And the older people, they do the same but in reverse. They're like, my life was really good. I'm telling you, I'm glad my mom is in that stage, but I think she lies. I remember some things were not as great as she remembers them, but I'm glad she does. So maybe when I'm older, I will do the exact same thing and it's okay. But when people are in the middle, the bottom of the U, there's no space for fantasizing. There's no space to escape my reality because it's happening right now. And I don't even have the satisfaction of knowing this is going to work out. There's this huge uncertainties, like, are we doing the right thing? I mean, are we messing up our kids? Are they going to go to the psychiatrist? I mean, what the hell are we doing? You don't know if what you're doing is going to work out. And you're in the middle of it. So that's the you. And I want to help you. I'm going to give you some information. I've been reading like 30 books on the subject. So I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell. Or you can buy my book. And it's on Amazon because I don't have too many copies. So hopefully I'll sell the ones I have. But if you don't get one, then you can go to Amazon. You can worry all you want. So there's a worrying wheel. And so you can worry about the country. You can worry about yourself. You can worry about your parents. You can worry about your future kids that don't exist. You can worry about your grandkids that don't exist. You can worry about the end of the world. You can worry about the heat, the cold. You can worry about anything all day. Oh, and how dare you sleep? There's Ukraine. How about that? So don't sleep. Worry. Don't go to sleep. Keep worrying until you die. So worrying is an addictive behavior. Our minds do that. Thank God our minds keep us alert because that's why we're alive. But let me tell you, 99.9% of the time, we're safe. Our lives are not being threatened. But we're wired to be alert all the time. So whenever you go anywhere, I'm going to tell you what your brain does. It's like, who are these people? Am I safe? And the animal instinct is, are you going to eat me or am I going to eat you? That's where that came from, okay? That's where that came from, because that would happen. Every time two animals would meet, that would be like, that was like, are you going to eat me or am I going to eat you? What's happening? What's happening? So we keep doing that. We don't have to do that. We're safe most of the time. Most of the time. Okay? We don't need to do that. So we keep worrying. So you can worry all you want, or catch yourself and breathe.